right, let's get into this stream. I'm going to pick up where I left off last time, which was this remix application. Everything is going slow. What says that? So right now it's a remix app, or we're building with remix. The main goal is to figure out doing some of the database stuff. We're using SQLite because we are in dev mode, and we're going to be using probably a Postgres database. We'll see. Right now, what we've gone through up until this point is listing our items in the database, which is this list here. We have done pagination. We've done creating elements. So let me go there. Why is everything slow? My mouse is really slow. Probably need to close some other stuff down. Oh my goodness, I can't even use this. Okay, let's close some stuff. That seems to have fixed it. Twitter, awesome, thanks Twitter. Cool, so yeah, let's look at some code. And what we have so far, now look at code. We were building things, so let's do snuggles and snuggles.com, add a doggo. DB user create invalid unique constraint failed on the field email. Really? I guess I already have Mr. Snuggles. Let's go Snuggles 2. How funny is that? Oh, yep, there you go. Previous next. Okay, so the last two that I created, which has been like 3 days apart. The first thing I thought of, which was Snuggles. Awesome. So anyway, with the database, we've covered pagination so that we don't just list a million records. We've covered editing. So we're gonna add, we're gonna change this one to also be the letter A and edit that. And then we'll go back home. And so we did creating, we did editing, we did reading, obviously, because we can see all of the individual items in the database. And then we did sorting and filtering. So if I sort by everything with the letter A, we just get a few matches. And then if I want to sort by name in an ascending manner, I can. Right now, case insensitive sorting is not supported. And we can also sort by name in a descending manner. So cool. And the way that we did this, all of this works, even if JavaScript is disabled, by how we created our query string parameters and how we constructed our input names. So I think that works pretty decently. We have the column, and then we have the direction. Ascending, descending. The only thing that I hadn't figured out was how to set. Man, this is still going really slow. What's going on here? I have to close a few more things. Maybe my mouse is dying. Is that it? No. This is more or less unusable. So maybe if I kill some stuff. Yeah, definitely seems to be Firefox is eating a bunch of stuff. And aside from that, things should be back to normal. Okay, so what I need to do is get my UI to match my query or what I search for. So right now, sort name and ascending are set to something else. I need to modify this. That's the name. Default checked is going to be Surname equals name. And that's not working. So I should expect that to be sort by this equals name. Let's see if I can see what we've got here actually. Let's take this. Should be right there in my query, right? Query, sort by should contain something that looks like this. Or what I can do is instead of depending on the query, I can go back up here. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that instead of depending on the data being passed down through my loader, I should probably depend on my data being passed down through my loader, actually. I wonder if you can pass the query in, like just like search params object. Where is it? Here's my loader. Can I just do this? Query search params, and then we'll grab this and we'll just say log search params and see what we've got here. Cool, I get an object, that's great. And then in the console, I get an empty object. If I say type of, no, that's going to be like an object. Say for const param of search params console.log p and see if that gets us anything. Search params is not iterable. Okay, so that is just giving me an object, which is not what I was hoping for, because that should be a URL search params object. Right? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be converted to an object, which is not helpful for me. Okay, I got it. What is up, Stony Eagle? Doing pretty well. I'm just trying to finish up sort of where we left off last time. And I'm deciding if, well, I need to grab the state of the form. And the challenge here is that the state of the form should match, well, because we're using Remix, that does some little bit of client side, little bit of server side. The state of the application should match on the server side, or should match on the client side what it generates on the server side when the client loads. If you have a mismatch between the two, it's going to say, whoa, something looks off here. So what I'm trying to figure out is I want my sort by checkboxes checked if I had checked them before sending the form. So for example, if I check this and change this to descending and I submit my form, those fields should remain. That state of the form should remain. And I can pull that information out of the query string parameters, or I can pull that information from my server-side query. Which right now currently doesn't really even reflect what we've got anyway. Or it could be like, it probably should match closer to like, what is the database query? Which raises another question, is if that information is passed down in the network request somehow. Let's see, I want all. No, that just gives me the HTML. This is it's so weird how blurred the lines are between front end and back end sometimes, because essentially I don't mind sharing what my database query looks like on the back end, but I don't want that necessarily on the front end. Like, access to it, yes. Actually printed to the page or somehow visible, probably not. So let's see, my query right now looks a bit off. You're gonna be in lurk modus. You're working in a queue dispatcher for the video encoder. That sounds like very important and up here kind of work. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Do your thing, and I'll scream at you if I have any questions. What I need to figure out, in the meantime, is maybe I should probably just change how my parameters look. Like, or instead of doing a query, maybe just return the parameters that I have. Yeah, so take 10, skip 0, where name contains A, order by, name descending. And what I had before was, I also had I had per page and page. I like this probably better. This is going to be easier. Yeah. Where's query? Okay. Yeah, so essentially what I want to return, that's definitely scream if I'm lost. Essentially what I want to show is the data that was used to request the results that we're looking at. That way I can do some work with it. So let's say that's my query. And we're going to say, now we've broken this first thing. So if the query, has a where and a name and contains. So here, if query, say where, and inside of that we have name, and inside of that we have contains, and that is going to be either that or just an empty string, I suppose. Cool, got that working. Next is we want the where the query order by is an array, and then we're going to do query order by find that takes a function and that takes, let's see, I'm going to say item, and we just want it to return true if object dot is it no item. Basically, if a key on the object exists, so object dot has own item dot has own property name. Not access object prototype has own property from target object. Okay. That's going to be a security issue, I suppose. So we can say object dot has own property dot call with item and name. This should actually be object.prototype. Okay, if I got that right, cool. That is set correctly. And then we need to figure out the ascending or descending. Or I can do that. This is going to be similar, where we are going to get find an item we're going to say const. Equals that, and then we're going to return item dot name. Yes, it has a name, so therefore we can just return the name. Otherwise, we'll return ascending, something like that. That should be returning descending, and it's not. Let's see. I'll log the item, and let's see where we are right now. We have true. Wait, no, what? Oh, yeah, duh. That's because this should not be, so this should be order by, this should probably actually be a reduce. Okay, so if this is going to be a reduce, that means we're going to start with ascending and have the direction. Oh, no, I'm fine. No, this is because find won't work. What do I need? I need to loop over each item in the array. And grab the, yeah, okay. So we'll say if object has an property, the item has a name. This is going to be previous. Okay, callback function takes the previous value, the current value item, the current index, and then we're going to say if the index equals the length of the array minus 1, return the direction. X and okay, let's try this. Just return the direction. This is fine. We have 0 and 1, and then we have one item in the array. That makes sense. Oh no. Right. Array length is 1, index is 0. So let's say it is undefined to begin with. and we say, if we have a direction, can we break out of this exit? No. Continue? No. Have a direction, we'll just return the direction. Otherwise, if the object has a name, then say direction equals we can just return that, yeah. Equals the name. You know that should be defined. And otherwise, we will have a direction, return direction. And if somehow we don't have a direction and we get here, and by this point we would then be at the end of the array, I believe, so we would just return. No, that's not right, because if this is not defined, this won't trigger also, okay. So if we are at the last item in the array, meaning index equals array.length -1, -1. And return the default value of ascending. I don't know, something like that. I think I got it right though, because it's working. So set that to ascending, and we have ascending. Set that to descending, and we have descending. Turn off sort by name, we don't get to sort by name. Turn on sort by ID, that would be the default, but we need to set that next. Okay, got that figured out. I should probably put that into a helper function. Maybe. But let's get these set up first. So we're going to take this function and repeat it over here to say if this contains, where's the name? Wait, what? Default value, default value, that's it, ID. If this thing has checked by ID enabled, we'll show that as a checkbox. And if we have the ID there, ID should be checked. Reload, sort by ID is enabled and set to descending, and that remains. Sort by name in descending order, sort by name in ascending order, and then sort by ID descending or sort by ID ascending. Perfect. Looks good. And if I don't have sort by ID specifically expressed, it should still sort ascending. So right now it's descending and sort by ID. Let's get rid of that, and it is ascending by default. Great. So far, so good. All right, so with that out of the way, that was a lot to cover in terms of, this is super complicated and I need to pull this into its own function now. I'm going to pull it into a function up here to begin with. We'll say function Something like what I want it. DB params from search params. Okay, this is where it was a bit confusing. That's where I transform it. So I really need to do capture this one. Function that does something. Need the name also. What is it? Search params to. You're the boss. You got it working? Or are you just stoked because you helped me with this last time? Search params to query. And that is going to take a URL search params object. So let's say search params. Make that a URL search params type. Nice. Is there anything you can show off that you got working, or just stoked and yeah? 155 videos in the queue to be encoded, and it's encoding. Nice. So that's when it takes the video encoding is like, what is that? Is that when it takes a video and kind of turns it? Yeah. Okay, I'll check this out. It's dev.nomercy.tv. Ooh, a lot of South Park. All right. I see where you get your sense of humor from. A lot of South Park. Oh, I think it's just placeholder, isn't it? Yeah, thumbnails are placeholder. Got it. If I click on one of these, what are we going to get? This is looking good, by the way. It looks a lot like YouTube. I don't know if that was deliberate. That's cool. This is pretty nice, gotta say. Y'all are doing a good job on it. But yeah, so the encoding, is that where it like is that where it like splits up the little chunks of video one at a time, or is for streaming, or is that where it, I guess, does the same thing or converts a video from like MP4 to, I don't know, what other video formats there are? This isn't going to be something I'm going to watch this on a different screen just so I never trust what Stony Eagle is going to be sending me. So. Okay, looks like safe enough. This is so cool. So this encoder, did y'all, like, it's doing this whole like buffering thing. I guess that's the internet, right? Like the browser kind of figured out how to download things or buffer videos one at a time, no? It takes your video, whatever format, and encodes it to an HLS stack. Got it. So then I can come here and say, I want this at, we have a little bit of a, okay, little UI thing there. It kind of, if I hover over this and don't click, it hides before I can make another selection. But if I click on it, no, okay. You kind of click on it though. So now we're at 360 and I can go to 480 and then it changes and you can actually just very subtly see, stop, please. There we go. So there's the 1080 and then I can go to 360 and actually see the difference. That's cool. Coding a video is a process of compressing the raw video with a codec. Right, yeah. Yeah, video stuff is so outside of any of the work that I've ever done. And it's, man, the people that work on video platforms, you have to be super, well, they have some of the smartest people working on them because you have to be very careful in how you manage or how you balance quality of video for user experience, but also minimize the amount of data that you want to transfer for your own, that's basically what's going to cost you money. We're going to work on a preview of images to show when you hover over the time bar. HLS or dash package the video by cutting it in segments and creating the manifest. Okay, CubWS, you are so far over my head at that point. I mean, I understand a little bit, particularly some of the cool stuff that I know. I don't know how much I can actually talk to what we're doing at work, but I know that there's like some interesting things that video studios are trying to do where they are trying to, I don't know how much I can actually say about this, but it's interesting that like each video that you download kind of downloads a few frames at a time, and then you can actually modify a video dynamically if you wanted to, so that, you upload a video, let's say, I upload a video to YouTube or wherever, or maybe your service, and then you can have the computers inject different stuff within the video frames or I don't know, like basically make a programmatically create a video. It's wild. But this is all stuff that, I only know from reading or listening, not actually doing myself. I'm over here recreating cred apps. All right, so let's build this function. Essentially what I want to do is have a function that can take a URL search params object and convert it into something that is a little bit more like database query, and that's quite different because on one hand we can see that URL search params are a constructed like URL encoded search string, and a database query is looking more like a nested JSON. Now, if I was to put ads, you could do that to put ads programmatically. I don't think that that's like particularly interesting because, not to say that that's easy, but I think that that's like probably the obvious reason why you would want to automatically cut a video. But at the same time, if you have video editing software that you want to put ads in, you could do that. Where it gets interesting, I guess, is let's say you have a video that you want to produce, you throw it up on some service, and that service allows you to programmatically inject ads. Then as far as the browser knows, it is downloading streaming the same video file. So the file, the same name that you named it or wherever it's stored. But then as it's coming through the pipes, you could have like multiple ad partners that you work with and say, the first 1,000 views are going to get ads from this partner, and then the next 1,000 will be from this partner. And as far as the browser knows, it's dealing with the same video file. But as far as the actual user experience goes, it's like they're seeing different parts of the video. It's also interesting for advertisers because unlike something like YouTube where the ads are injected in at like playtime, which is subject to ad blockers, if it's sort of stitched in as part of the video file, then it's part of the video file. Like you can't really block that. Yeah, you can roll ads with the video, with the player, but that's kind of subject to what I was just saying is then I guess it's dependent on the tech. Like at some point, it's if I really wanted to, if the video is available as a file, as a front-end developer, I can kind of figure out how to get to it without ads. So having it sort of stream in with the ads being injected as part of the stream makes that impossible. At least that's my understanding of it. So it's pretty fascinating. But again, this is information that I have like anecdotally, not from experience, or not stuff I'm working on myself. That's like way over my head, or just I guess way out of my experience. Still, really fascinating. Talking to smart people it's a fun way to keep energized in this industry. Okay, so this is going to return the params, and params is going to start as an object. So we're basically recreating what we have here. So from this part on, I can actually probably cut this. Let's say I'm going to take it down to here for now. And we're going to do this part. Oop. And I think the rest should be almost the same, except we're calling this query. So I guess this can just be query. Cool. And then where is params? Oh, right, because that should be query. Cool. That is a function. Let's take that. Let's say that query is actually just going to be the results of passing in the search params to that function. Sweet. Everything should continue to work as it was before. Let's search. Looks like it is. Let's say ID descending. Looks like that's working. Sweet. This is now reusable. I think there are some other things that I wanted to pass in. I want to, well, I guess, let's see. First thing, this is going to return something. And it's going to be an object. Do I know what is going to be in that object? Not necessarily. So let's leave that out. What I need to do is also, I kind of want to be careful. Essentially what I have right now is the user or the client or any user can now construct a database query with this URL. And I may not want them to be able to do that. Well, right now I just get the query back and then yo, Dakota, the official, what's going on? You got some questions or just stopping in to say hi? You made a dog manager for your dog. Before I did. Okay. This looks cute. Family fur babies. So is this for like actually your dogs? Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dogs? That'd be pretty great. Or is this for like people to be able to like adopt dogs or something like that? You have 8 dogs. That's amazing. Like your family, not you. You're not like an organization with 8 dogs. Like you have a family, and your family has 8 dogs. That's amazing. Blessed. I have one. I have one dog that has the needs of about 5 dogs. Okay, so we've got this. Let's get rid of this line of code. And then the question becomes, how do I want to, yeah, I think we'll do the per page. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this down here as well. That way, every time I call this, it will be set. One thing that I need to do is I want to prevent what the user is able to modify. For example, here we have, okay, here's a good example, is I have name, ID, and email as part of what these things have. And technically, someone could say, oh, I know that there's an email in there. Maybe I will change the sort to, for some reason, sort direction or sort by here, the email. No, this sort by direction. Yeah, instead of ID, we're going to say, I want to sort by the email. Sure enough, it's actually in there. I can see that I did do my order by searching for the email in descending order. I can even change that to ascending order, and I will see that take place. You have too much to say because you have trying to catch up on your streams. Yeah, I mean, there's like, I don't know if you missed a whole lot. We did some pretty gnarly work in the last one, but if your parser is correct, you can only take the ones you want and make a pre-statement. Not sure what you mean by pre-statement, but what I want to do is say that we have this parser, right? This sort of search params to query parser. And right now, the idea is that it'll be flexible. It can be reused on any URL search params and return something useful for the database. Now, what I do want to do is maybe provide an option to say, hey, I don't want you to, I only want to include these keys. Right, so that could be like, what could it be? Like ID and name. Oh, what am I doing? This is wrong. I'm doing this wrong. But I guess, yeah, this won't work. I could take this object out and have that just be, what is this? Options, which defaults to an empty object. And then when I execute this, I can say my search params query is going to also pass these options. I can have include. So we'll add this param, which is the options. It is optional. and defaults to an object. And what this can have is, it's an object that can have include. And include is going to be an array of strings. Something like that. So now you can see it's an array of strings. And then in my parser, I can say, let's see. The key. Only allow the sort array and the title column to be used on the query. Think about putting Google ads on your website? Sure, why not? I mean, if you have a lot of traffic, it's worth it. Only allow the sort array and the title column to be used on the query. Yeah, because really, it's search would be explicitly defined, sort by direction. It's really just the sort by column that I'm interested in, right? So instead of include, let's maybe call this something like columns. I don't know. Allowed columns. Allowed columns. Cool. Now we can say that if we get down here, we've got the groups, we've got our key, which is the the column. So instead of calling this, man, I did a bad job naming this stuff. Search param is the, I think I'm going to change this one. This is going to be the column here. So column key is that. We want groups.key, groups.column. Hopefully I didn't just break that. I think maybe I did. Sort by name, cool. Descending, cool. Looks like it's still working, great. Query statement is for raw SQL. 9 viewers per day though. Cool, yeah, we can connect. Be sure to check that out. All right. So where am I here? So I want to make sure that only the columns that I want to allow are in there. So we'll say we have our groups. We can check if the thing matches that. Otherwise, users can basically query for whatever they want. Later on, I'm going to explicitly pull them out, but we're going to get page and per page. And then it's really just the sort by that I'm worried about, the query sort by. So I want to make sure that the sort by works. So we're just dealing with the sort key. This is quite complicated. Good news is once it's written and done, that's all I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about it once. This is going to return a page and per page. So let's be explicit about that. Return a record with, is it like string, comma, can it return? Like anything, really. Return that for now. And it's also definitely going to look like an object that has page of a number and per page of number. Let's keep all that stuff in. Okay, with that in place, we now know that query is going to be a record with a bunch of things, and will have per page on it and page on it, which are numbers. Sort by is also potentially going to be on there. So query, where is sort by? This is another one of those issues where I'm basically allowing the front end to put whatever they want in here, and then I'm checking whether it exists or not. But I guess once again, I'm explicitly checking whether it exists. So that should be fine. That's not going to somehow leak into my search parameters or my database query parameters. So that should be secure as well. I think we're good here. I'm just going to say what the allowed columns are that you're allowed to work on. And as long as they're in there, I can do something like if it has these groups, then I can say I've got the groups. Cool. If the groups dot column, or let's say if options dot allowed columns, do you a favor and log the object you passed to Prisma. Sure thing, we'll do. So if we have this, and it has a .length, we know that at some point the user that initiated this function call passed the options with explicitly setting what are the allowed columns. So if we have some that we've defined, I'm going to do this. Options. No, we're going to do this. Okay, we have the groups. We have const allowed columns equals that, which means we can say if we have allowed columns, we can also default to an empty array. If we have allowed columns.length, and the allowed columns dot allowed columns does not include the groups column, then we can just return early. Add a hydrate reward. I should. I don't know how to add those rewards, but I want to add some cooler ones than what I do have. Okay. Yeah, I should definitely add a hydrate reward. But I can also just hydrate. All right, so if we have explicitly defined the allowed columns, then if our group, our column is not included in that, then we will just continue. Continue. I believe with that, we should no longer be sorting by email. Descending, if I change it to descending, we don't get a change. If I remove that line, and I'm gonna have to be quick on this. If I hit save and go back, we do see that with the email in there, that is sorted by email, although it's hard to tell. But if I return that, we are no longer allowing just arbitrary sort columns. Don't worry, Dakota. I'm going to add some more fun things to my channel as soon as I find the time. I have a million things I'm doing. Blog posts, videos, streams. But yeah, I want to spend more time making this channel more fun and interesting. Okay, I think that's all that I was really worried about with explicitly setting stuff. So now the question is, if I don't put anything in here, then it's going to, can I actually change something? Search, I can. So now the question becomes, how aggressive do we want to be with being defensive about this? Do we want to say that by default, anyone can pass whatever sorting and column they want, and that if you want to be more defensive, you have to explicitly define it? Or do you say something like, if there's nothing defined, or something is defined and it's not included, then we just don't let the user actually sort by anything, right? So I can say sort by name is not going to do anything. Sort by ID is not going to actually do anything because I didn't explicitly allow for sorting. Now that I have, I can do, what happened there? Sort by name. Oh, no, bad logic on my part. If allowed columns is not defined, it should have a length. Or allowed columns doesn't include this. Why am I not doing this? Interesting. Let's try. What is going on there? We have call endure, because okay, this should be endure. This should be by. So this shouldn't actually be the column. This should be the value. This is actually a lot more complex than I thought. Okay, so lab columns is there. Then this should actually be only for the column. Is the group column. This is not actually column, dang it. This is the parameter index sort key. I guess. Sure. Okay, something like this. If the sort key, only if the sort key equals column, or sort key equals call, and the allowed columns does not include the value. That is getting real ugly. Real ugly. Someone save me from myself. Okay, so if I am sorting by name, if I disable sorting by name, we can see, yep, that is fixed again. Sort by name, ascending, descending. I can change that. Yeah, to be honest, it is kind of ugly. Yeah, no, it's totally ugly, but it's one of those things that I don't know. It's such a complicated thing that I don't know if I can get it to not be ugly. And the real nice thing about it is once you have it done, it's just so complicated. But okay, that's fine. We're saying right now we can sort by name and ID because those have explicitly been allowed. If I disable explicitly allowing that, we can see that even sort by name is no longer there, or the functionality is no longer there. Of course, because I am relying on my query string parameter or my query data. Yeah, once it's done, you never go back. I made a syntax option for it. Yeah. No, I'm going to export this and then never look at it again for sure. The question is, it's just one of those things that it's like so complicated that you just have to get it right once or get it working once, and then you use it wherever you want. So let's see. We've got that sort thing figured out. Now I'm trying to think, what are the other operations that you would do that you would want to convert URL search params to database query parameters? Filter we have covered. And most of this is going to be handled, like most of this real complex stuff is only for the complex search or sort by keys. Everything else is either going to be converted to an array, like here, or it's just going to be a key value pair. So a search string is fine as a key value pair. There's another thing that I wanted to get into today, and it's going to be just as complex. We essentially have a search where we're saying, give me something that contains the letter A, and that totally makes sense. But what if instead of search, this was, I don't know, I'm just going to put greater than. Right? So think of a date field, right? If I have two date fields in two date inputs, and I want to make sure that maybe I'm booking for an airline and I want to have a date, I guess you would have like on this date and this date, but maybe like something that tells you a range between these values. Well, we currently have exact values, not greater than or less than values. So I also need to be able to pass that into my database as well. So we're going to keep the search name the same, although I'm just going to call this greater than, so it's something that's easy to understand when we look at it. But essentially I want this greater than field to be where the search, really tempted to use colon here, but then we'd put like probably something like GT for greater than. If we wanted something like greater than or equal, GTE, greater than or equal to, that would be one option. And I think we would have to put it in the name. So Stony, curious to get your opinion on this one. Very similar to how we did the sort thing, where we need something that's a little bit more of a complex query builder. Essentially, when I do, let's see, we're working with Prisma on the database, right? So Prisma.io. Let's see. Dakota really trying to show off the mess of their code. This doesn't look so bad. That's just downloads folder. That ain't too bad. Okay, so what I want to do is look at the docs, and I need to look at the client-side API. Reference Prisma client API. Anything in light mode is bad. And we're going to do like greater than. Okay, so this is how we would build it in our query. Let's see. Okay, so this is where it would kind of look. Instead of the search containing, we would basically want the search to be greater than, and then this is how we would do it. So where the search is greater than the letter A, that looks like greater than or equal to. Name. I'm not doing something right. Prisma.io. Stony, you're not liking this, huh? You're now not using your parse and filter data. Oh no! I know I'm not using it at the moment. I'm going to URL. Curious, can't you parse the URL with new URL and then do search params get all? Not sure if that would help for the huge parsing code. Yes. Yes, we are using that in some places. And oh geez, 15 kilobytes in a single script. And Stony, to get to your point, we are I'm basically going to build it out statically for now and then recreate those values into the query parser, the query to the URL search params to database query parser. So what was I looking for? Greater than. So value n is greater, where likes greater than 9. That's what we should have here. Where name greater than, let's even just, no, that should work, right? Like search. I have it wrong. Or I broke it because I have this search. Okay, cool. We should have where the search is greater than the letter B. And now we see that everything that started with the letter A is not included. If we use the letter A, we get only things that aren't actually the letter A. So that's working as expected. I think. It's working except for the capital letters, which is funny. That's still something I'm going to have to figure out. That's like a Prisma thing I'm going to have to figure out. Or maybe a SQLite thing. Okay. Like you do have an array. I have an array now for you to use in Prisma, so it makes more sense to you. Not sure exactly what you meant by that. Okay, so now that we have oh man, I think I basically need to sort of recreate the idea that we have here with the search. So instead of just having a search field, I want to also pass that. I mean, fortunately, we don't need these, like with sort by was more complicated because the index, we had to capture the sort by name, we had to capture the index or the priority of the sort by, and we had to also capture whether the sort was talking about the column or the direction. With greater than or less than, we really only have the column and the, the column and the whatever modifier. So let's say I want to go back to using this search is greater than, right? And what that's going to do is when we get down, let's see, when we actually build this, here's where we get to, right? It's not going to be an array, but it is going to be, the key is going to have a modifier. So we're going to say something up here. I think the modifier, well, maybe after here. And I'm going to say that the key. So the key at this point is going to equal something like search greater than, right? And I want to split on the colon, so I can say something like const, maybe that's let, okay. So I can't redeclare let. Let's just do this. We're gonna say const really want to redeclare key. Let's see. Whatever. Where key and modifier. Modifier equals right, key dot split. I always spell split. Key dot split on the semicolon. So this should give me an array where if it's just search, I will end up with search, and this will be empty. Me and my JavaScript madness. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then we need to tell if there's a modifier, then the value is going to actually be like an object. So in the client, we can say where likes equals that thing. The irony is I use JavaScript to make a no JavaScript front. So I'm not actually trying to make a no JavaScript front end. I'm trying to make a front end that is enhanced with JavaScript, but in the absence of JavaScript still works. And I think that there's a difference there. But I love using JavaScript to make things nicer. Yeah, there's just a lot of times when it doesn't. So here we go. Now that's in or not in. Okay. Examples in, not. Equals. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to have the modifier set to equals. And then we also want to support not or in. Ugh, this is going to be just it's going to be a nightmare to support everything. Okay. Eventually I'll get there. I would have been done if I did fetch request. Yeah, the problem is when you build things that way, it's much harder to build things that way and then decide, oh, I need to support this stuff, than it is to just like support this stuff first and then build all of the nice integrations on top. And regardless, this is still just API design, whether you use the fetch approach or whether you use any other approach. I mean, I guess with fetch you could say, like, you could explicitly say build these objects. So yeah, it's a pain. So where name in, I think I am biting off way more than I can chew with this. This is like so much more complicated than I need it to be. I'm gonna leave it as it is, and we will solve that problem maybe another day, maybe when I actually have a real big project for it to work on. I'm trying to build this so that I can actually do like a more of a course thing with the end result. So let's keep it somewhere that is more manageable. Let's go. We want the search to contain the letter A. I don't have that working correctly because search equals S. What am I missing here? Where name dot contains. Because I got rid of this. Cool. All right. That's looking good. Greater than could also be solved by putting it in an array, you think? Yeah, I mean, there's like, you want to match fields that are in, you want to match fields that are not in, you want to match fields that are greater than, less than. They have all the examples here, right? Filter conditions and operators: equals, not equal, in, not in, less than or equal to, greater than to, contains, and full text search, I suppose. Starts with, ends with, and. Yeah, so that's where part of this is like, I want something that is flexible, and ideally something like this function would just kind of accept anything and build out some object for me. So the array name is greater than, or whatever, you can specify whatever keys and values you need. Yeah, I would, but if I keep trying to go down that path, I'm going to spend probably hours of this trying to get something that at the end of the day is like way over engineered for what I'm actually trying to do. Trying to do this as a learning exercise, trying to do this as a teaching exercise, but at the end of the day, I also do need to actually make some progress on building this thing. So let's get into, maybe I'm going to start shifting focus. I'm kind of done with the database stuff for today. And I'm going to take the rest of the stream to maybe relax and get some styles in place so it doesn't look so bad. And actually in the next stream, something we're going to have to do sooner than later is going to be a migration. Because obviously this is going to be a pets database, but you're going to try and clone this to PHP. Oh, like this thing to PHP. Yeah, you could, or ask Stony. Stony will tell you that Laravel already has this sort of thing taken care of. So. All right. Yeah, you love the challenge. Never had to give this a thought how to parse some weird ass queries because of no JavaScript. Well, yeah, it just I think that going the accessibility route led me to the no JavaScript world, and that's always been a fun challenge to try and make things a fun and worthwhile challenge to try and make things as accessible as possible. Okay. And the thing about the no JavaScript is like you're not coding for some obscure not coding for some obscure people that deliberately turn JavaScript off. Apparently, it can be around 1% of users, and it's not even 1% of users. It's 1% of page views that can fail for whatever reason. Either there's like a bad network connection, or maybe there's a browser extension that blocks some sort of JavaScript, or some sort of, some JavaScript runtime issue. And once you have an error in JavaScript, the whole app can just like stop working. So when you code things to work without JavaScript, then you can sprinkle JavaScript on top. And if JavaScript ever fails for some reason, your app can continue to work the old-fashioned way. So what am I doing now? I want to get into, man, I really want to get into some of the design stuff and start picking out color palettes and stuff. Does this work with Googlebot? You mean like the spiders that crawl? It would work to render. I don't think the Googlebots are actually going to search for pets in my neighborhood. But let's see. Where am I going next? I want to go to the root. Okay, I want to do this trick where you go to an unordered list and you say, where are my styles here? And you say something like, hey, unordered list, if you have a class, go ahead and do disk style type of none. What's this complaining about? Unknown property, disk style type. Really? Okay. Yeah. A list style type. Haha. There you go. Okay, cool. List style type of none, and we'll do padding left of 0. And there is my unordered list. So that way, if I ever add a class to an unordered list, it doesn't do those styles. And that is because assuming that I'm adding, or assuming I have the access to add a class, then I can just add whatever styles I want. Search up family fur babies and you'll find your grandma's website. I'm going to do that off stream just in case. Let's be good. Malty Morky fur babies. Born April 22nd, 2022. Oh, mini doxies. How cute. This has turned into a puppy appreciation stream. There's so many of them are named after food. I mean, the majority of them. You've got vanilla, sprinkles, jelly bean, cocoa bean, and apple fritter. That's too funny. All right. Great naming, by the way. Okay, so with that, I want to add some more utility styles so that I can actually start doing some styling. So we're going to say gap 8 is going to have a gap of 0.5 rem. And we'll go into the root, go to our unordered list, and say gap 8, please. There we go. Getting better at this. This is looking better already. And then what do I need? Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I have strong opinions over like which SQL database I prefer, but I generally go for Postgres. Okay. What do I need? I need some sort of max width, right? So let's go back here. We're going to do something like max width of 640. Do I do max width or do I do max inline size? I kind of like that it looks like it says max is 640, so we're gonna do that. Do max inline size of, and I wish I had a faster way of calculating stuff. .40 rem. Probably also look into getting like a preprocessor or something set up. Root max is 640, and we're gonna do margin auto. Stony eagle, killing endangered species, causing climate change. All right, let's do the margin stuff. Margin auto to be margin auto. Here we've got margin auto already. You do not have the max inline size set up correctly though. Oh no, you do. Duh. Put that in the wrong place. Let's go with the body. I could do it on the body. Something just feels wrong about putting classes on the body for laying stuff out like that. But we've got that. Okay. I'm going to fix up this form because I don't like how this looks. I'm going to sort by name with the sort direction. You have to compensate by not owning a car. Do you own a bar, though? What a ridiculous question. Oh, you don't own a car, but do you own a bar? Or maybe you own a star. Or a bit of tar. Do you own some tar? Yeah, a bar of Mars. Like a Mars bar. Got it. Clever. This stream is quickly degrading into a Dr. Seuss book. Next thing. What am I doing? We've got some navigation. We've got this form. This form needs to be modified. Go to index and let's see. I want to put these on the same line, but name equals flex. Oops. In the wrong spots. And I got this in the wrong spots. And I don't really like the look of this. Oh, Dakota! Wow, on top of the rhymes today. Okay, we have some flex stuff. We're gonna say align line center and gap 8. Align rules are missing. Line center 20. Line item center. There we go. Now I need another utility class called visually hidden. Always have to look this one up. So GitHub Austin Gill utils. Go to some CSS stuff. We've got what? I don't have it in here. I have it in here. Where is it? Okay, don't have it. Oh no, I know where it is. It's in here. There we go. Grab you. Okay, we need a visually hidden class so that what? You're not even making sense anymore. That's too funny. All right, next thing, sort by name, sort by ID. I don't know if that's even relevant, but we are going to get the styles in place anyway. So let's do this, put that there, copy that, put that there. Now we have I'm actually going to get rid of these two so that everything is on the same line. Sort by name ascending, sort by ID ascending or descending. Now I need to modify my input component so that it will accept a prop called classes equals an empty object. And classes is going to be class name join with an empty string and classes dot root. That's great. And then I need to give the class name to a lot of different things. So class name equals classes at label. This is going to get the class of classes at input. This is also going to get the class of classes at input. This is going to get the class of classes at label, which will allow me to do something like this. On this element, I want the label there, but I don't want it visually there. Okay, here's the meaning of the last jokes. Your pizzerias are out of good pizza ideas, and your headphones are almost dead. So you put them in a pile of your dead phones. Yeah, I got that. Okay. Next next thing is, right, sort direction. This needs to be taken away, and then we need to we need to do this. You and you need classes equal to an object where label has the class visually hidden. And that visually hid that label. That's great. So now it is accessible. Visually hidden. Now I need to style this checkbox. I actually want this flex to be with a gap of 16. So here, do another gap. 16, that's going to be 1 rem. I don't want a gap of 16 actually. I do, I think I want that to exist. But now we have an interesting dilemma. That I actually need 2 flex containers. Yeah, this one is going to be 8. And then here, add that as well, gap of 8. And then we'll close that inner div, and we'll close that other inner div. And that should give some more space between, yeah, so we associate the inputs, but leave a little bit of gap between the two that are not related. Cool. Oh, Dakota, you're, I don't know who gave you extra sugar today, but you're on another level. All right. We have some advanced sorting and filtering. I think what I want to do is maybe also move this submit button next to the search input, such that we end up with a div, and then we have a class name like this. That's going to have a gap of 8, maybe. Cool. Only problem there is, why is that not taking up the full width now? I guess I put it in the wrong place. Yes, I did. No, I did not. Okay. This is weird. I have a empty string there. It's weird because if I do that dot join with that, it shouldn't have that empty string. Class name plus classes dot. Ah, is it because I actually have two undefined values? It is. Awesome. I guess I could do this, right? Filter, Boolean, Boolean. Aha, fixed. So the question becomes, why is this not 100% full? Flex grow 1. Okay. Okay, I think that's the problem. Cool. Where did this guy come from? Dakota. Talking about you. Jumped too much in anger and you bent the CPU pins of your desktop. I can't even imagine how that happens. Canada. But how do you jump and bend CPU pins on your desktop? Okay, let's see. Right, so I need a class on this. Where's my search input? I need a class on this one. Do class name equals flex grow. Oh, after cleaning the CPU, that makes more sense. Okay, line center, we've got flex grow, and I know that this is all really looking a lot like Tailwind, but I don't know, I just don't like Tailwind, so flex grow of 1. Cool, now I just need a line end. And items, and we have flex end. Line end. There we go. Beats Bootstrap. Yeah, no, I like a lot of what Tailwind has. I just, some of the naming conventions I really don't align with. So this is what my form is now looking like. That ain't too bad. Accessible. Everything is good. Oh. Yeah, I think this is all right. CSS instead of Tailwind. CSS. Like Dominic Schmidt. I don't think I know Dominic Schmidt. And I also can't see. Oh, there we go. Pico CSS. Minimal CSS framework for semantic. Ah, yeah, this is one that's like. Yeah, you know what? I think I was looking at this one and I found a major problem with it. And that was, maybe it was a different one I'm thinking of, but it was something to do with the buttons or the links. Yeah, so this is interesting because it just is based on semantic HTML. Let me see what we've got. Preview. It looks good. What is this? Just a checkbox? Input type checkbox. But what happens if you have like multiple checkboxes? I guess they have checkboxes. Okay. So why is this one different? Oh, the role is switch. Cool. Clever. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. As long as you're cool with the styles that they chose. That is a dialogue. That'll be a details element, I'm sure. Article. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Definitely if you want something to just like get your site looking good right away. Seems pretty good. And then you just write HTML, which is great. Dominic Schmidt broke tons of shit. Oh wow, I missed a lot of stuff. Okay, reread it. Playing CPU, then bent, then jumped. Crap. Yeah, left and right being start and end, that makes sense because of the logical properties. Like technically, documents can be left to right or right to left or whatever. So used to the utility classes to find on load that using Bootstrap. Yeah, Material UI, I do not like Material UI. I've used that for a while, and I just, there were a lot of edge cases that I found. I mean, I come from a background of building sites, agency sites for clients, and whenever you hand a site over to a client, they'll just find a way to, like with a CMS, they'll find a way to throw the most ridiculous content at the page that you built, and I think that Material UI does not handle a lot of unusual use cases very well. Yeah. But it is cool. I mean, there's a lot of these tools that will get your site looking a lot better, a lot faster than what I have right now. So I'm not really in a position to say. I just like doing stuff by hand. All right, let's go back here. Let's do some CSS for base components before I close up. So I'm going to say for an input of type equals checkbox. We're going to say appearance of none, and cool, looks good. And we're going to say, I'm actually going to design this in the browser so I can actually see what I'm doing. So you have appearance none. We're going to say width is 1 rem, height is 1 rem. What do I need to do? Vertical line maybe? I hate this vertical line stuff. No. So we're going to say bottom 0.1 rem. I think that's what I want. Margin top. That's not going to do it either. This little thing, margin top. There you go. Nope, nope. One, 5 rem just to get it centered. This is magic numbers are the most annoying things. Yeah, I'm gonna get some. I'll get you guys something more interesting to do with the channel points. I mean, hopefully the channel is just interesting to watch. Who cares about the points, right? No, the points matter, Austin. Okay, we're gonna do 0.25 rem on that, and then when it's selected, I need to do something. So we'll copy all that, throw that in here, and then we need to do something when it's checked. Give you something give you something I don't want to do, so that by the time that you get there, you'll actually do it and make me do something I don't want to do. What's in it for me? You care about this mustache. I'll tell you what, if you want Stony at 100,000 points, you can apply mustache wax to my mustache. I'll allow you to touch it for 2 seconds. That's it. So when it is checked, we want to do something like when my checkbox is checked, do I want to give it a little maybe? Do I want to give it? Yeah, I think I want to give it a little. I think I want to give it a little checkbox, or a little check. After all, it's a checkbox. So what I'm going to do is go to iconify, maybe. Yep. And I want to look at the 100,000 icons. I want to go for a check. And I'm going to grab one that looks good. That one's kind of cute. Maybe this one. 16 by 16. Looks like it's from the Bootstrap authors. They did real well on that one. Let's see. I want to grab the actual SVG, please. Copy the HTML. How about installing Twitch Studio and set up something nuts? Something not harmful but still hilarious because of your displeasement of it. You know exactly my brand. Crutchcorn has played Dark Souls or something he really doesn't want to play. Dark Souls, I mean, I've got Elden Ring. I'm for some Elden Ring. Okay, so that's essentially the SVG I'm going to need. Let's see if I can. Let's go MG. If there's any optimization we can do on that. Looks like we can. Copy that. Yeah, we can even get the precision way down. Copy that. Let's see. That is going to be my new SVG. And it even has a bunch of things I don't need. So this stuff is not even going in here. the width or the height. Don't need the classes. Great. So I need to remember how to do this. And when I say remember, I actually mean look up something I did in the past. Go to, was it here? Yes. May have been that one. Don't need this string replace thing. That means I just need to paste this thing in here. I think that's it. Maybe. No, definitely not. Well, let me do this. Background is going to be the highlight color. So when it's checked, it is highlighted. Oh, I did get the little X in there. I did get the little thing in there. That's great. Okay, that's kind of working. Unfortunately, it's that little checkbox. Happy belated birthday, Dakota, and happy belated birthday, Stony Eagle, and happy belated birthday to everyone else that's on the stream. Just for y'all. Okay, so the thing I don't love about this approach is that the element, this current color thing, is never going to matter because it is a URL encoded SVG, which means it's always going to be black no matter what. Which means I really should explicitly set the background color. Instead of highlight, I'm going to do, what am I going to do? There's something else I want to do, which is HTML, accent, color. I want to do magenta, I think. I'm going to set the background to magenta on that. Cool. So now, yeah, magenta. I feel like my links should have also been magenta. Unless that's because they're visited links. Okay, accent color is magenta. That's good. That's actually not going to be a good color for a dog app, but that's okay. And the other thing I could do is maybe for this element, do like little arrows. Turn a 25 megabyte file into 65 megabytes. Nice. That is our job, after all. So. Yeah, I'm gonna set some CSS variables. So let's say dash dash, what do I want? I'm going to do highlight. Highlight, primary. primary. I'm going to do primary. Primary color is going to be, what color? Green. And then magenta is going to be primary color. Cool, looking good so far. All right, I think that's as far as I'm going to take it today. We did a little bit of styling. We did a little bit of going through and then not doing any actual work on the database query stuff, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. Because now we do have the sort by name descending and sort by ID descending, and we see those changes taking effect. So pretty happy with that. No, your Discord I have saved, or well, yeah, I have opened in a different tab. I haven't connected yet though. So that's it for today. What did we do that was interesting? Mostly telling jokes. No, I guess the most interesting thing we didn't actually end up implementing, but we did discuss and think about, which is how do you build a basically an API design for accepting like database search parameters or filters through your API. In my case, we're using URL search parameters, and allow users to modify those without being too open, but then also being flexible enough that you don't have to like rewrite things all the time. So like here, we have this function that's like allows us to do a pretty complicated sort, and it's write once and implement however many times you want. Yeah, all right, jokes and cokes, I get it. That's it for me today. I'm gonna get back on some stuff for work, and I will be back on at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard on Wednesday. Hope to catch you there. And I think that's when we're going to probably start getting into, let's see, probably some more of the actual design stuff. Yes, Stony, raid for sure, always raid. What do we got? I'm looking at either Coded Live or ljtech.ca. Let's go. Read to Coded Live. What they're up to. Ooh, or we could join Ben D. Myers at Many Moki. Anyway, thanks everyone. Catch you next time. Stony, thanks for the fun and the assistance with the database stuff. I'm curious to see how that encoder works. And yeah, keep sending those updates because that project is going to be fun to continue watching you build out. All right, catch you next time, y'all.